This is Next Steps for Seniors with your host, Wendy Jones. Each week, Wendy brings resources and information to help guide you through those next steps with elderly parents and loved ones. If you have questions or topic suggestions, you can call us at 248-651-5010.
Hi, and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors. I'm your host, Wendy Jones, and my topic today is a little unique in that it comes from experience. So I am not a physician. I am not a social worker. I am not a licensed nurse, but I've been in the industry for so many years, 20 plus, that I've run into a lot of different families and people who have suffered from pneumonia. And as we age, unfortunately, it's very common. So this program is designed to give you some tips and tricks when you have a loved one with pneumonia. And these are just facts and things that I've learned over the course of time. So do your research. And if it's something that you think will be fantastic, do it. If not, definitely consult your physician. But I want to share these things with you because I think it's ultimately so important. Let me start with this. How do you know that your loved one has pneumonia? You don't unless they get a chest x-ray proving that they have pneumonia. But I can tell you some of the things that I've noticed over the course of time to listen and watch for. Obviously, congestion, it usually starts as the common cold, right? And the older we are, it gets harder to get rid of something like that. So a cough, cold, runny nose, all of that good stuff. And then a heaviness in the breathing, like a little wheezing. It's like it's difficult to get some air into the lungs. And weakness, fatigue, lots of things like that. Okay, so let's say that you hear your mom and dad's voice and it definitely sounds like they have a cold. The first thing you say is, have you taken your temperature? How are you feeling? And when they say weak, I'm tired, I don't feel good, I'm going to give you a bunch of little things that you can have them do right away. Number one, we want to take blood pressure. You want to know that they don't have high blood pressure because that could cause some of that exhaustion just getting out of a chair, so to speak. Number two, temperature. We need to know if it's high or if it's 98.7. Number three, a pulse ox. If you don't have one, I highly recommend going to CVS, Walgreens, wherever, and getting one. You just put it on your finger and it will tell you what your oxygen level is. And I think it's very important to know how much oxygen, right, you're getting, especially with pneumonia. One of the other things that I highly recommend is a thermometer. Oh, I said thermometer. Okay. My gosh, there's so many things that a humidifier or some type of diffuser that you can get some fresh air into the room for them. Many people use like a Vicks Vapor Rub, humidifier that you put the Vicks in. But I personally like On Guard. It's an oil and I put it in a diffuser and I just think it is immune boosting. I love the smell of it. I think it's very healthy. And I encourage people to breathe through their nose because a lot of times they might take a little deeper breath than they would breathing through their mouth. So those are my little tricks. So the second I find out that someone has pneumonia, I right away go to those little things. Make sure you have a pulse ox. Make sure you have a blood pressure cuff. Make sure, and you can do all this over the phone. Dad, send me your blood pressure. Tell me what your pulse ox is. Tell me what your temperature is. You're just basically keep an eye. Now, the number one thing every senior in the world wants to do is nothing. They want to sit on the couch and they want to feel miserable. But I am here to tell you the number one thing that I do is set the alarm to go off every hour, and I have my loved one get up and take a walk because you need to move around. You do not want that fluid to become sedentary in the chest. A lot of times they just sit, they lay in a bed, they never get out. That is the worst thing you can do. So I just want to encourage people. I mean, obviously that's why I say take your blood pressure first, because we want to make sure that your numbers are good. And then you can get up and walk every hour if you can make a loop, if you can, I'm not saying, go down 5 mailboxes and come back. I'm not saying walk a mile for sure. I'm just saying, please get up and do something, some kind of walking and movement every hour if you can. I also think it's important to keep your head up. people lay flat and then wonder why they're coughing all night. Well, if you put a couple pillows under your head, under your chest, it keeps you elevated. If you have to sleep on a couch, try it. It's not the end of the world if you can breathe easier. And, lots and lots of fluids. I think fluids are so important, and I recommend hot fluids. Hot water is way better than having cold water. So the goal is to continue coughing because you want to get all that phlegm out of your chest, out of your, all that mucus out. What you don't want is to take a cough suppressant, cough medicine, and then all of a sudden, okay, you're not coughing, but it's not active, right? You want to hear that cough because you want, and please don't swallow, spit out the guck that comes up into your mouth. So these are just little things that I've learned over the course of time. Nothing rocket scientist, but if one of these little items will help you with your loved one. Oh, one more thing I learned. They like to give the inhalers or Buterol or whatever the inhalers are for breathing. As you age, the elderly have a very hard time, number one, even pushing that button, but it just goes in almost just into your mouth area. It doesn't make it all the way down where it's supposed to go. So those of you who are in your 50s, 40s, 50s, you probably have a breathing machine somewhere because your child probably had viral-induced asthma or some type of asthma since it's so common. A breathing machine is highly recommended. More so than the little spray thing, if you ask me. These are all my opinions. Again, I'm not a physician, but I definitely would ask the doctor, can you please prescribe a breathing machine with the liquid instead of the inhaler? I feel like it is so much better for the older adult. So those are all the tricks that I've got. Oh, gargle with salt water. Let us not forget that. Killing bacteria. I definitely do hydrogen peroxide in the ears to get, just fluid is everywhere, right? You just want to clean everything out and breathe easy. And like I said, my diffuser with my On Guard, I am a strong believer in. I literally sat a loved one on the couch with the diffuser, with the inhaler, or not the inhaler, the breathing machine, and then did that for like 20 minutes, and then they had to get up and walk around. I mean, I'm a drill sergeant, not going to lie. When someone gets pneumonia, my number one job is to keep them out of the hospital. Lots of times you can even get an IV somewhere. They have all these IV clinics now. Fluids are really important. And again, hot water, not cold. Okay, those are my tricks. Hopefully they help you. Again, I'm not a physician, not a nurse, and just going off of good old-fashioned experience. All right, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.